And we go live now to Venezuela to witness the massive rally commemorating International Workers' Day in Caracas. Let's see. This massive rally proves the support of the Venezuelan people to its president, Nicolas Maduro, the Bolivarian government, and shows the common will to face the challenges imposed on the country by the United States' ongoing hostilities. We are seeing images at this moment of the rally taking place in Caracas, Venezuela, in support of the Venezuelan government, marking the International Working Day. Women, men, and all the joyful people are gathered today in the capital,
Long live the working
Caracas,
class. Long live the homeland.
expressing their consciousness to face any threats imposed by any attempt.
Such a big march of the working class today, 1st of May 2024. And it continues, the march. Let's see some images in the outsides of the Miraflores Palace. Walking there, they're getting silly and I sweating. Sweating more. Sweating even more. We are in a national radio and television broadcast giving a greetings to the working class, an immense mobilization. Still, more than 8 kilometers. And the workers, the people, the women, the youth is on the streets to say, Biden, take away the sanctions against us, stop the blockade, the imperialist blockade. Until this time, I believe that we have the March of City Guayana is going all over the place, the Orinoco, the working class in Guyana. There you can see the working class. It is impressive, the joy, the will, the commitment. There is from one side to the other, and I'm congratulating the comrades of the unions and the council, the Productive Council of Workers of Guyana, to all the working class, to all the people of Guyana. Let's get into the video. Let's go to send greetings, a joyful greeting and loveful greeting to our brother President Nicolas Maduro. Today is a homeland day, brothers and sisters. May 1st, the Workers' Day, from the men and the women that goes every day to make the homeland, that goes out every day to produce, to sustain this family, to sustain the state. It is a day of fight, and it couldn't be less here in Guyana. This gigantic mobilization, we have to applaud this immense march that we have done today. More than 20,000 people. We out in the streets, in the street of Guyana City, from a very early hour in the morning, with joy and love, our brother President Nicolas Maduro knows that we are supporting him, that we are with him. The ones that believed that the working class was being deceived, the sectors, the ones that in the history have attempted against us. But if anyone knows, the far right is the working class of Guyana. The working class that faced him when they were in the government. The working class that won to the neoliberal process that want to impose to us, and in the streets, you comrade alongside with us, we achieved to win the privatization of the neoliberal process in the 98 when we put our beloved President Hugo Chavez into the presidency. That's why I'm going to be one of you always, and you know that. I've been always with you in the good times and in the bad times as well. And now the good times are coming, and we're going to enjoy it together, comrades. We're going to enjoy it. As we're not going to surrender our achievements that are being out of the sacrifices. We quit the colonial state 200 years ago, and 25 years ago we stopped being the ones that were under the influence of the United States government. Like 200 years ago, we would be a part of the fight for the freedom of the people, for the achievements of our people and our working class, and we won't rest the Guyana workers. That's why I invite you, all of you, to keep on the streets, to be here in the streets with the highest flags. This is the time of the workers. This is the time of the people. Alongside Nicolas Maduro, because of the legacy of Hugo Chavez and Simón Bolívar, the Guyana people once again will conquer, comrades, till the victory, brothers and sisters. Greetings to the working class of Guyana, socialist Guyana, the working class of Guyana. Put the stand outside. The mobilization in Caracas continues. I am here now to receive the PDVSA signature of the working class. I was brought the signatures from the workers. And to make some statements from the working class today. It is impressive. I've been seeing there. Let's make a wave. Let's make a way outside. Raise your hands. We were in the mobilization and we got with Diosdado, with Delcy Rodriguez, with Rafael Tellechea. It was in the march with us. Well, we were with the people, marching about 3 kilometers. And then I got out because I have this assembly and a compromise with you, a commitment with the delegates of the spokesmen of the working class. Am I being listened outside? You can see us there marching, and the working class outside. When I came here and I got out of the car, the temperature was in 34 degrees in the shade. We were in the sun with a very hard sun, but I'm feeling happy to have marched with my working class because I'm a working president of this homeland, belonging to the marching and the working class. The hope, it is in the streets. That's where the hope lies, in the streets. And over there, people were screaming, Maduro, fighter that goes along with the people. They were also screaming. Let's see if I can remember. Listen the last name, listen the oligarchy, the people that is united who can never be conquered. And then I haven't lunched till this time, so I asked for a little soup. Am I allowed to drink this soup and a sandwich for you? Because this assembly is going to take a long time. I'm greeting from here, and I've been said that I'm seen in the Urdaneta Avenue. Greetings to the working class. The united working class can never be conquered. When I was out of the assembly, I'm going to go there to dance salsa with Factor M. But I've been told that we have live connection with Coro. The base of the working class march. In Coro, the working class was in the streets. Go ahead, Coro. Who is the working class president? Who's the humble president? Who's the people's president? Dear rebellious people of this city, from this Coro city, in this moment, in the day of the International Workers' Day, we've been listening from Caracas, our president, our brave president. Let's send some shout to him, to Nicolas Maduro, president of the poor, president of the working class, brave president, dear President Nicolas Maduro. Here you have your Coro people, and we want to allow myself with all this working class from Coro to congratulate the workers from the homeland. Happy International Workers' Day, working people, working women, working men. This immense march and mobilization from today has shredded the last names, has shredded the hatred, and has shredded with the ones that are asking for sanctions. Shout down to the ones that hate our people, the ones that want trying to kneel us with the sanctions and blockades and treason. The traitors, the ones that ask sanctions, and the ones that are asking the blockade. And we're saying, here's the Venezuelan people, here's the Coro people, here is the rebellious people of Simón Bolívar and Hugo Chavez. With Chavez, they will not coming back with Chavez. With Chavez, with the strength of his spirit, with the strength of his word, we said this people is going to conquer the hatred, is going to conquer the last name, and it goes to the future, to the victory with Nicolas Maduro, president of the victory. It is a demonstration that they want to mess with our people, that want to mess with the peace of the republic, that they want to mess with the growth and the welfare that we had achieved with the revolution. And that's why we have these answers, facing the threats and the hatred of the last names, facing the threats of the ones that want to end up the Bolivarian revolution. And we're saying the chorus people is out in the streets, and we're going to say we're going to the revolution, we're going to the future, we're going with Maduro, we're going with our people. Let's move forward, people from the homeland, to conquer a victory that can transform to cosmic dust forever, the ones that ask for the sanctions. And from here, from this crowd in Coro, with the view that we have of this rebellion, we demand that all sanctions, economical sanctions, have become raised in Venezuela. People of Coro, I don't want to say goodbye in this marvelous manifestation without asking to send a greeting to the first worker of the homeland, the president, the working president, Nicolas Maduro, shouting to him, long live the Coro. Such a beautiful faces. And from here, if there was 34 degrees in Coro, maybe it could get to 45 degrees. This climate change is strong. We went through CAN TV, and all the working class came outside. It was a very beautiful sight. The workers, it was worth the perseveration for so many years. I say goodbye to Coro, and I say goodbye to Guyana City, and my greetings in all the cities, in Cumaná, in San Felipe, and all wide the country, in Por la Mar. Greetings. How beautiful, really. I'm feeling hugged and accompanied and loved by the working class of Venezuela. Thank you. Men and women that are working, we want to fail to the working class. It is impressive, for real. Very beautiful. And we have to make an effort for all the good and beautiful things that we're doing to defend it. You're from the Unitarian University Federation. Waldo Vera was president of the Simón Bolívar Federation, Workers' Federation. When I was 12 years old, I met him. Now that I met him, that I turned 60, he given to my greetings to the leaders of the glorious Bolivarian Central Socialism of workers of the field, the fashion, and the city. Will such a tremendous intervention yesterday of Egle in the National Assembly to make accountable to one of the hatred people that was getting out of there. Very good, Negle.
Nailé Figuera, Osvaldo Vera, Néstor Ovalle, el negro, Jacobo Torres, el canciller de la clase obrera. Famoso canciller, ¿vale?
Very famous chancellor.
Orlando Castillo. Si yo digo José Mora,
And I said Jose Mora, but no one knows who is.
¿quién es José Mora?
Who is Jose Mora?
Tiguaraya, Tiguaraya, Nelson Herrera, Reinaldo Morales de Caricuao. Naguará, Reinaldo. Ya eres abuelo.
You're a grandfather still, and you have a big kids already. I met Reinaldo in the 80s. He was a leader of the Neighbors Association of the UD2. When you were living in the UD7 there, when the Father Pablo Church was there. Greetings to Father Pablo of the UD7.
Sandra Nieves, Yubeli Ramírez.
Sandra brought his own crowd. Where is Sandra?
Yubeli Ramírez, Alejandra Milano, José Guerrero, Edinson Alvarado del Metro de Caracas.
From the Caracas subway. Edinson brought his crowd from the subway. Where is the subway people? How are my brothers and sisters from the subway?
Hilda de León, Caracas, Mari Guerrero, La Guaira, Jan Sevilla, Monaga, Indira Arevalo de Aragua, Eliana Leal de Carabobo,
and to all the crowds and the representative of the working class that is present today. Us, we've been given. I love you too. I love you too. All of you. We love each other and we will be happy forever. Look, comrades, I cannot stop to remind how many struggles have we been through these years. And the working class, the workers, have always been in the first line against the oligarchy, against the last name, against the imperialism. I am a president, a labor president. I've been, and I'm going to be always a labor's president of the Venezuelan homeland, president of the worker class, from the humble, with the humble and for the humble, president of barefoot, president of the neighborhoods. We are the same. We are the same, we know that. But every single May 1st, I remembered especially one May 1st, and I believe that never in my life will forget that. I will be very old, and I will get even more gray hairs, and I will get really white hair, and I will have a white mustache also, but I won't lose my strength, never. And then when I get to a very old age, I will remember that May 1st of 2017, when with the working class I summoned the National Assembly to restitute the peace, to defeat the coup d'etat, to end with the guarimbas. I fought for the Constitution, and you were alongside me. And we did the Constitutive Assembly, and we won the peace till this day. Thank you to the working class. unforgettable in the Bolivar Avenue, and I'm here with Celita from one point to another. Till this day, that was the biggest march that we've done. We surpassed that in 2024, 7 years after. In 2020. Did I say 2014? 2024. How did I say? But was the correct answer 2024, 7 years ago? 7 years ago. Do you remember, Celia? It was impressive. And that people there is Adan Chavez and all the family, Mrs. Elena. We wish you farewell, and we pray for your health. There is very impressive. It was 7 years ago, in the middle of the most violent and criminal status of the last name activated against the peace of the country and the homeland security. Maduro, Christ love you. Amen. How the song said? Christ love you in spirit and truth. Seek him, and you will see that in the end, peace you will find. No sabe a dónde va. Guíalo, Señor. Búscale el camino, la verdad y el amor. Na 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 na. Revolución. Oh. Poco desafinado. It's a little bit out of shop, but what it matters is the feeling. As we see this movement, May 1st of 2017, the working class convoked the Constitutive Assembly and we won. Today, May 1st, I announce that in my constitutional facts, I submit the constitutive power to the working class and the people in a process of popular process, summons to a constitutive assembly, a community one. It is the time, it is the path to defeat the fascist blow, and that the people with the sovereignty impose the peace on it. I'm going to proceed to sign in this historical day, May 1st, the constitutive original power to the Constitutional Assembly signature. The victory is ours. Long live the primal constitutive power. And when the constitutive, we won the peace. We won again. All over the right road. We're on the right side of the history. And now we're fighting the big battle in two main directions. The battle against the blockade, against the sanctions, against the last names, and the battle for the economical growth, the development, and the recovery of the welfare state and the social rights and the labor's rights of all the working class in a progressive way. Those are two big battles that comes along each other. We were in PDVSA a few days ago with you, and a whole day started in a first stage because day before, because of a request of the far right of the last names, for a request of Leopoldo, Lopez, Capriles, Julio Borges, Antonio Ledejas, más Ramos Adus, the ones that always do that, the wicked one. United States of North America took new sanctions against PDVSA. They did harm? Yes, of course they did. But we're going to get through that, and with our own efforts, no one will stop us. We're going to grow in the oil industry and in an economical level with our own efforts. It was a permanent blackmail of the United States empire. We had, only because of those announcements, lost, partial loss, all over both of the $2,000 million for these 4 months in the income. But we won't be stopped by that. It was stable, the growth of the oil industry and production, maybe in a smaller rate that we wait to, but it was sustained and it's sustainable. And this year we should achieve to the goal of 1 million to 1,000 oil barrels per day with our efforts, with our guts. There's no license that can stop us. That's the truth, comrades. But they launched this missile into the request of the who? The people? The people asked for more sanctions. The people is supporting the sanctions. Who asked for the sanctions? Who? The oligarchy, the ones of the far right last names. The people knows those are the one, the anti-homeland. We've been prepared. Of course that we are prepared. And we will continue to prepare ourselves. If it's true that they launch our missiles, we continue to work for the economical growth. We have come taking the directions combined of the key elements of the present, but most of all to seek the future of the economy of Venezuela. Fundamental elements, comrade, that you're watching me here, you're listening to me here, that you're still marching in the streets of Coro, of Guayana City, of Cumaná, San Felipe's, from Caracas. Those are key elements there. And we can say today that in Venezuela has born a new economical model with diversity that warranties the growth. First place, we have guaranteed the self-sufficient in 100% on the internal market of the country with national production. 100% the food of Venezuela is produced here, thanks to who? To the countryside men, to the producers of the field. 1 point for us. We were importing 85% before. It is an achievement of the people, of the working class, that will never stop, and a very righteous economic policies that allowed us to achieve this. The culture ministry is not present because it's coming from China to sign some agreements for the food production in the west of the country. But we have the food minister, we have the fishing ministry, Comrade Juan Carlos Loyo. It was increased club to very high levels are produced here. The 67% of the lab by us in Venezuela. The production of the fishermen of seas and rivers is increased in the 67% to carry on the proteins of the sea, of the rivers, and to complement the protein of the chickens, the meat. We have to strengthen, and it's one of the orders that I want to give today, not only those organizations in the territory, we need to strengthen a new policy of workers' help to get all the protein and the food to the working class that is organized, even more than today. Are you agreeing on this? It's been approved. Food help for the working class. I command you, Minister, to do this. Comrades, to protect the food security of the families of Venezuela, of the working class, in the homes and also in the work center, because we're going to improve our health, but of course eating healthy for us. Healthy, safe, tasty, and sovereign. Do you like this? I'm seeing you stronger now, Jacobo. How's your health? And a good point? Are you eating 4 times? 5. It's eating always. We've been making a direction to a new economical model that is not dependent of sanctions and licenses, because the United States government pretend to impose a colonialist model. Which country can accept that to produce their own oil in their own land, to get through ships and ask another country for sanctions? Can Venezuela accept this model where we have to go to the United States to ask for licenses to produce our own oil? Never. We'll never accept this. Never. Colony, never again. Independency or nothing. A colony, never again. In the middle of this battle, warranty the production, national production, the recovery of the industries, warranty the recovery of the national trading that has come growing in a permanent rate, the activities and the trading and the entrepreneurship that has been growing, the land production, the industrial production, the trading, the financial activity, the credit activity, and 2 key elements. And we've achieved this with our own mind and our own plans and our own effort. The stability of the new system, banking system, and the recovery of Bolivar and deceleration of the inflation. We have now the lowest inflation in 14 years. That this speed even more every single day. Key elements to grow the economy, to offer employment, to support entrepreneurs, to stabilize the new currency system that doesn't depend on dollars, but depends on the own economical system, the deceleration of the inflation that we had now. On inflation, January, February, March, April, that is calculated lower for 4 months of impact, lower than the 30%. And it has an annual projection for this year of the 60%. It is good news for the economy in the recovery stage, in the growing stage. And if for one side we have some missiles and they take away $2,000 million of the growth that we had for this stage, for the other side we're increasing the income through the way that I just said. The oil workers and the gas workers, you have to work confidence that you're the mainstream of the whole Venezuelan society and the whole Venezuelan people, but also the comrade José Martí Cabello, comrade, the president of CENIAP. I gave the order on January 10, the day that I was in the National Assembly, was to double the income by taxes. And we have achieved a record rate in a percentage. And I can tell by the end of April, I mean January, February, March, April, we've broke records and we have made 66% more in national taxes, 78% more than $3,100 million. On one side we have a missile, but for the other hand, we have our own efforts. And what's going to be used? The money, the one that you're paying in taxes here and there, optimizing, as I say to José David Cabello and his achievement. I want to congratulate José Luis Cabello by the achievement of CENIAT in this 4th month and all the workers of CENIAT. That money, where goes that money? The production of oil is getting to 9,000 barrels, even more 9,000 barrels. Where is this achievement going? Instead of, in the middle of this economy that we're stabilizing with this new currency system, with a very strong believer now that is resurrecting in the field, natural field, with an inflation that we are decelerating, with an economy growth that is real beyond the oil economy, where those resources are going to the social investment, to the big missions, Venezuela women, Venezuela's youth, to the big mission of culture, to the big missions for the elders that I'm going to launch next week to protect our elders in an integral way, in the pensions and the medicines, in the health care, in his daily life, to protect our grandfathers and grandmothers. With more years, more love, more love. The big mission for the elders of the homeland, to protect them in an integral way. And where are they going? I'm always dependent on the income of the workers. The revolution carried in an income point, in a high income point, the minimal income to $380. Am I wrong? Where is the chart? I'm going to, when in 2008 we had the income of $65,000 million. Small money, right? This is the number here, right? And there is like the double. When in 2008 we had the income of $65,000 million, Commander Chavez took the minimum wage of the workers to $380, and then some economical blow came in 2013, and I, as a president, income was 53 millions, and we could take the minimum wage above the $200. Then the total war, economical total war came, and the income of the workers got in 2020, you remember, we had to, with the homeland bonus, to impulse entrepreneurship. That year, 2020, with the pandemic, the income got to 7,000 million, and the minimum wage was to $4. We have seen a hard situation, but I say to you, a year ago I said, I have the plan to optimize what is coming here, to get higher rates, oil production, taxes. We're getting there to put the national income in a higher place, to maintain and sustain the economical growth, to those things get to the private sector workers. And a year ago, I say, I'm going to apply a formula, a new one, and I put it, the minimum wage in $30 to optimize the few that was getting into, and it was a good result. Then I put it in $70. The January 1st, I raised it to $100, the minimum income, controlling the inflation, maintaining the economical stability, indexing and growing step by step. And today I've decided to get up the minimum wage of the worker to $130, and with an impact in the growing capability of the workers. This year, in January to May, we've impacted the 86% of the minimum wage, integral minimum wage of the workers. 86%. Step by step, a little by little, we're going far, and we're going to get back the income of the workers, the income of the country. Step by step, doing a lot with a little. Of all the sanctions of the April 18 had an objective to stop us. The May 1st gave another step in the recovery of the income of the workers. But they couldn't do this. The imperialists of the far right in the last name, and they won't be able to in this first semester that only passed 4 months. We increased the 86% of the minimum wage. And the second that is upcoming, I will be seeing this to keep growing in the recovery of the wage and the minimum wage of the workers. Moving forward in the economical policies and the recovery of resources, moving forward in the restitution of rights with the new big missions of new generations, moving forward in all topics in the rights of the workers. I'm receiving here a very important law. The workers must know that a special reform has been made, approved yesterday from the Royal Estate and Habitational System reform into the request of the working class. This law established a joint of new rights. I gave to the living stage a very high percentage of money, and next week we're going to do it again. And I propose myself the goal. You can see what I brought here. With the plan of the 70s that you've done from the base of debate and assembly, I propose myself to build 2 million of houses more, to achieve 7 million of houses, and put in the center of the effort to the organized workers, to the working class in the CPT. That's why I proceed immediately to sign and this law that guarantees a more direct access of the workers to the household and household financing. Household for the working class has been signed and approved. It's going to be published and executed. Law of the household for the working class, for the working families. Moving forward in every aspect. Stop. This is not a campaign. Act. This is an assembly. To share. Just to speak a little bit. Comrades, the working class protection, the biggest protection is to build and to deploy and develop a new economy that generates employment, productive employment, that generates income for the country and the workers in the private sector and in the public sector. To the public companies, I've been told, you can improve even more the income of the workers. If they work better and with more efficiency and best income, you're authorized to improve all the charts of income of the workers of the public sector even more. To move forward into the economical growth of the real economy, of the new economy, with stability of the change system, with this deceleration of the inflation and control to the level that we're getting into, we will amaze the world. We will have the Nobel Prize of Economy to Venezuela because we're building a new economy with blockade, with economical war, with aggressions, with threats. We are doing it and we are going to keep achieving that. I've been saying we're going to win this from all fronts, the front of economy, the social front, the workers front. That's why the people is outside in the streets with the conscience that they are mobilized, because that people that is outside in the street knows it really well, that we're going to get more and we're going to improve, and the new economy, with the new big missions, with the recovery, progressive recovery of the income. That's why the people say the hope is on the streets, and I say the people is in the streets, the hope is in the streets. Likewise, in the frame of the builders for the hope, an applause for the construction workers, workers of the construction, comrades. I'm really happy to say hi to you. I remember to a comrade, Jose Salamat Khan, Chinese Khan, honored to him because at the time, 25 years ago, the construction sector was in the hands of other people, the armed gangs. And I was going with him and with several other comrades to speak with the comrades and the workers to speak and speak. And after that work and process, now we have the main force in the construction sector, which is a Bolivarian force. Like in every single sector, in education, healthcare, oil, gas, oil chemistry, university sector, transportation, public workers from the municipalities and strategic companies from the country, the Caracas subway, that is all the transportation workers, the airline Combiasa, the subway that I already said, from the cement workers, all the workers, a very big hug. We have to move forward. I'm going to make an agreement with a couple person here, but first of all, I'm going to say a very important thing. The next Tuesday, in the frame of the big mission of the elderly people, the Vice President, Executive Vice President, Delcy Rodriguez, is going to proceed to introduce a special law project in the frame of the justice, social justice, in the frame of our equality project to the businessmen and employers of the country, make a special tribute in the month according to their incomes to this law that is set in the new fund, goes to improve the pensions in the country and the income of the elderly in a significant way. The special law of apportation of the employers to the protection of the pensions facing the imperialist blockade. I don't know if you, Mrs. Vice President, and I ask, as a friend of mine will say, it's not worthless. All facing the blockade, facing the new sanctions of the April 18th, the effort has to be coming from all of us. We cannot be handling the whole issue today. From your income, you can tax to a substantial improvement and add it to the resources that we already have to improve in a substantial way. And also with the model that we already established to the minimum wage, the index pensions also. And how is it going to be sustained? To improving the income by taxes with this new law. That is a law that is coming for justice, the tax justice. Delcy Rodriguez, please. Thank you, Mr. President. This emotional act of social justice to recognize our heroes that conquering the criminal blockade against Venezuela. This is the whole national worker organism. It's the thing that we've been discussing with the Central Union of Workers and also with the companies. We've been open to move forward to that direction because it's a justice for our pensioners, and that social income will be the expression of all the wealthy that is generated in this economical growth that progressively the Venezuelan people have been retrieving, and it signifies one more step for the social justice to distribute alongside and from every point the social justice. Our grandfathers and grandmothers, that's the spirit of this law, to have justice, and us to have this law as an instrument and as a tool for the social equality. We've moved forward, President. We're ready to go to Tuesday, join to the National Assembly with your instructions to the Parliament Venezuelan that is not under the service of the last but is in the service of the Venezuelan people. Move forward that direction. A correction. Well, this is a thing that we've been thinking a long time ago. Because it is true that we need to increase the income, and when every economical sector is growing, like by example the exporting system that we are already developing, the export system can be added of an adder of income to the national and to the workers' income, into the missions and to the healthcare. I like to discuss everything with you so everyone knows where we're standing and where we're going and where we're doing, the achievements and the step forward that we're making, and how we're going to win in every front, how are we conquering and how we're going to be conquering in every front, in the moral and the spiritual and economy and politics. It's an integral battle. That's why we need so much the blessings from God, and I ask so much from God. In the hardest time, I say that's my mother, in the hardest time in 2017, in 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, in the economical war, in the invasion attempt, and I always said, God will provide, God will provide, God will provide, and God provide, and God continues to give us blessings and strength to move forward to the path of integral recovery. And I said a small correction. First of all, today is Wednesday. We don't have to wait for next Tuesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, I'm going to ask to the working class to go with the Vice President in a march to stick into this tax justice project that is going to be the funds for the big mission of the elderly. Are you agree? It's been approved. And second of all, I asked to the Dr. Jorge Rodriguez and the deputies that are present of the working class here, and I ask of you to give a fast track to this law so I can into distance in the next hours, in the next days, to be making a big march with the elderly to sign this law, to have this law working and income goes quicker, and to improve the lives of our pensioners. Are you agree, Delcy, please? Yes, President. I was saying that this law is going to capture all the taxes of the employers, so have the big mission funds for the elderly of the homeland as a mechanism to redistribute the wealthy in this economical growth process where not only the productive sectors are participating, but directly and mainly the workers of Venezuela. It is the justice, and this is where you've been demanding of us, and through the dialogue mechanism that we maintain with the company sectors of our country, and is something that had a warm greeting to move forward. I think, President, that the construction of this new economical model, diversified, has been getting to the country with a well greeting, and the first national consensus is the building of a new economical model to the just redistribution of the wealthy, where the working class are the beneficiaries through the happiness, social happiness directly from that. And we're on the right path. The Venezuelan people has come here conquering with the strength and the resistance, and with this personal sacrifice has been conquering the criminal blockade. And I think in the time where these new hours of hope for the development, national development, growth economy, we can enjoy the good times. And us with this law, President, we're going to move forward in a certain step for the growth and the social justice, seeking the virtuous formula to continue the growth with a lot of our work, generating services and wealthy in dollars and in bolivars, and creating the virtuous system to always have our income, while you're being putting the oil workers what I have from the increase in taxes, what the exporter sector is bringing to the table, and the things that the businessmen have to bring into the table in this stage to recover the income of our pensioners, and with the elderly big mission protection, integral protection for this medicine, this personal company, this food, taking care of his health, because you must know very well that we already have the possibility to say the past times are past already. We will not rest, not even a single second, until we get the incomes and the rights of the workers of the levels to the levels that the Commander Chavez brought us with our own effort and our productive economy and generating wealthy. And we will be back to the justice times and equality in the functions to build in the worker socialism, our Christian socialism, and I will not rest not even a single second. And I know that we will be winning again, and I know that we will do it. I know, comrades. My commitment is sworn upon you from my heart. You're saying that this is the working class that is defending Nicolas, and I say to you, this is the Nicolas that is defending you as well. Advancing with all the formulas, with the big missions, of women Venezuela.
Dentro de 2 semanas,
From 2 weeks, we're going to be given 50,000 new credits for the women, for new 50,000 entrepreneurs that are generating new employments and new incomes with the big mission. Venezuela youth, we have a system of a card, and we're going to be given 40,000 special credits to 40 entrepreneurs of the youth so they can generate their own income. Will be the credit of the youth. And today I have to announce, first of all, because I have decided to give something to you, to the workers of the country. We've been working so much to turn the Bicentennial Bank in the first digital bank of the history of Venezuela, and it's going to be the digital bank of the working class, the digital bank from the bicentennial of the working class. And I've given this to the workers to generate microcredits, loans, financial support, entrepreneurships, access to the financial services, cards, faces, face recognition system, fingerprints, digital bank in your phone, cameras. I'm giving this to you. The Bicentennial Bank from today is going to be the digital bank, bicentennial for the workers of all Venezuela, with the services that we have to activate of support, giving birth to resources. If we have learned something in these years of struggle, is to inline things. It's a very beautiful chanting. Nicolas Truth, the healthcare is the hope. From the doctors and the nurses and all the healthcare workers, workers from the healthcare, this is my message to you. Pure love. You take care of the pandemic times, and Venezuela had an exemplary model 2020, 21, 22, the best against the pandemic model of the world. We had it in Venezuela, giving birth, making some innovations, because that's the spirit that give to us the liberator Simón Bolívar, the big chief of our homeland, and other important personalities of our Latin America. That's the legacy of our father, of our master, Hugo Chavez Frias, always present, always alive among us, with his life, with his spirit, with his truth. Also, we have some good news in the recreational fields. As the code says, because we have also to understand, we have to be someday in the beach. The recreation, the leisure time. Between the leisure and the revolution, there is no contradiction. And the workers' recreational complex is getting really beautiful, and it must taken as a model to build more recreational complex of beaches, of mountains, of countryside, and all over the country. And let's make a chain of a system, a touristic system of the working class. That's why we have the INCREC, and I getting back to the INCREC, the vocational workers complex, but with the commitment that we have to build a productive enchantment in the beaches, in the hills, in the mountains, in Canaima, that the working class can know. You like to go to Canaima? I have to confess something. I've never been in Canaima. I know the great savannah because Celita and we've been there. Greetings to the worker. Microphones for the... greetings to the working class by Celita. Well, President, the first thing that I have to congratulate today, this big mobilizations. We are really emotional because of this. We've been marching with the workers, and it was really impressive because not only the amount of this flooded river and the attitude of the workers in this march, the joy, the consciousness that they had. And I asked myself this, why? Why so much emotions from the workers? And I say to myself, what is going on that the workers know that they have a leader that is one of them, because the president, Nicolas Maduro, is a worker. And so the workers always being protected because of him, by his president, by his leaders, one of them. And right now we're seeing as the president, you're seeing as he's always thinking about it's his workers. I've been calling all of these statements for the social protection of all of us, and most of all because of our elders, our grandmothers and grandfathers, the pensioners. And I believe that this is motivating us. What we're seeing today in the streets, not only here in Caracas, but on the whole country, we're seeing mobilizations. And this is what it brought us even more compromise with the working class. And the president, I'm sure of that is going to continue protecting you forever to you, and I will be alongside him and alongside with the workers. We are workers. We are one of you. That's right. Celita bite himself because she's eating gum. Right, we are one of you. You can see the march again. It is really impressive. It is really impressive. We were getting... Look, Nicolas. That's a very crazy dude, Nicolas. That's Nicolas's pure love is the hope, because Nico is the love of the homeland. I am all from you. Where is Nico? It is the people. It was truly impressive. 2 hours to 34 degrees under the shade. And Diosdado is trained because Diosdado is marching all over the country. And I was a little bit untrained, but I hold on. 2 hours there. a little bit of everything. Say hi to the neighbors from the buildings that we were passing. The biggest march of all, May 1st, 2024. We will not forget you. The greatest of all mobilizations, popular mobilizations. And we're going to see how Caracas is going. We have a video. Do you have the video? Go forward. Renewed with pride and dedication by President Nicolas Maduro. This emblematic place in La Guaira is an homage to the incansable labor of our workers. We've been rehabilitated the 110 hectares of our beloved complex, improving 85% of its main installations. The beautiful Pescado Beach is already set to get thousands of visitors that seek to enjoy the south and the sea. But this project goes further. Also, we strengthen the communities that are surrounding them. The local school and the hospital is being restored, ensuring that the education and the healthcare is accessible for all the neighbors. It is a school that impulses social development and sustainable development. It is a future school. More than an improvement of infrastructure, it's an initiative to celebrate and honor the effort of our workers in the construction of the homeland and reaffirmates our commitment with the welfare of the people. Thank you. Thanks to the Bolivarian government support, Los Caracas reborn as a space of leisure and joy for the workers' family, in a place where every visit renews the spirit and strengthens the family union. There are some people that goes along and ask me, what is going to be this? Private? No, but this is going to be public. We need a lot of people coming here. The biggest transformation born from the homeland love. Come and rediscover the Caracas. We move in an integral peace, in employment and income, food, households, health, education, and leisure and recreation, because a good part of the mental health is the possibility to rest, to share with your loved ones, with your partners and your husbands and wives, your boyfriend or girlfriend, your sons and daughters, your friends. As when we were there in the subway union with the saving box, we were making up some things and we'll go to Moshiman's 2 days. And we were having a good time there. Some of us could overuse the spicy because they were very excited, but they were enjoying that. And I gave an order to the Tourism National Institute to proceed to the homeland system to give the worker options to go to Morrocoy, Moshima, Margarita, Los Roques, La Orchila,
Canaima, la Gran Sabana, el teleférico de Mérida,
the Merida teleSUR, etc. Delcy, you can tell me some things about this in a really quick. Yes, President. These subjects we've been reviewed with the Union Central and Venezuela, and all the whole system is going to be incorporated in the whole system and thus funded directly for the homeland system. Is going to be financed with payments accessible to the workers through the ministries. We can do amplifications and they can enjoy the holidays with coordination. Can you realize this? That step by step we're going to make an integral improvement and we're going to be better and more. You can realize this?
tantas cosas.
So many things.
No es que soy, porque él dice, Nicolás,
He says,
vos sois un
Nicolas,
vergatario.
you're
No,
so,
no soy un
you
vergatario.
are
Somos unos vergatarios.
a strong
Y una
leader.
vergataria.
We are, all of us, strong leaders. We are a really strong leaders, all of us, that is moving forward, and no one will stop us. Not today, not ever, not ever.
Fíjense,
You can look.
Anaís, ven conmigo, Anaís.
Come with me,
Ven
Anais.
conmigo, Alexis Corredor. ponte
Will
aquí
come
al
with
lado mío.
me, Alexis Corridor.
Me digas en el
Come
oído lo que me
alongside with
dijiste
me.
ahorita.
You can tell me to my
Ponte
ear
aquí.
what you said
No
before.
les puedo contar lo que me dijo.
I cannot tell you what he told me.
Alexis, yo lo conocí en
Alexis, I met him
1976,
in
Alexis Corredor.
1976.
Tremendo
Alexis
líder
Corredor. It was a
revolucionario.
very
Alexis estuvo
big revolutionary leader.
como
Alexis
fundador
was as a
de los
founder
comités por la
of
unidad del
the
pueblo,
communities
los
for
CUP,
the
fundados por Ali
unity of
Primera.
the people,
Él fue
founded
un
by Ali
militante de los
Primera.
CUP
He
en el
was
Valle, en
one of the
Coche, en
first
Caracas.
founders of the coup.
Ali lo quería mucho. Era un chamito.
He was a
Eras tú un
young
chamito.
man
Él dice, éramos.
by
Yo
then.
sigo siendo un chamito.
I'm still, he says that we were,
Y bueno,
but I am still a
vamos
young
para lo
man.
que vinimos, pues.
But let's talk
Nosotros
about
vinimos
what
a
we
recibir
came
las firmas de
here.
ustedes.
We came to receive the
¿Verdad?
signature from all of you
Y para que
and
todos los
to
trabajadores del
all
país,
of the workers of
de
the
la
country,
construcción, de la
from the
salud, de la
construction of
educación, del
healthcare
transporte,
and education
todos
and
a
transportation,
partir de
all of
mañana
you from tomorrow
arranquemos una
get
jornada de
in a
firma
day of signatures
del acta de la
of
independencia económica
the
de Venezuela,
independency of
diciéndole a
economy
Joe
of
Biden,
Venezuela and saying to Joe Biden, Biden,
lift sanction now. Biden,
lift sanctions now.
lift
Biden,
sanction now. Repitan conmigo.
repeat after me,
Biden,
please.
lift sanction now. Biden, levanta las sanciones ya. Te lo digo
Biden,
en
lift the
español,
sanctions now.
te
I'm
lo
saying
digo
in
en
Spanish
inglés.
and in English.
Lift sanction now. ¿Qué me dices tú, Anaí?
What do you say, Anais?
Anaí Herrera.
Anais Herrera.
¿De dónde eres tú, Anaí?
Where are you from, Anais? I'm from Managua State. I am a union leader, part of the Socialist Central Union of Workers. President worker Nicolas Maduro, for us, the workers, is a honor to speak to you today, May 1st, on the International Workers' Day, and to surrender the message that you're a man of barefoot from the people. You're the hope in the streets. You're the spokesman of the social leaders of every community in the country. And we're saying to the world, President worker Nicolas Maduro, that we are here, the workers, that we are here with you, President, and protecting the legacy of our commander, Hugo Chavez Frias, is the homeland of Chavez and Bolivar, and the working class is at your command, President, to receive your orientations, and that you can count with all men and women of Venezuela. And we're saying to the world that is the people of the barefoot, is the communal power that is on the streets every single day, touching doors in the social and industrial, and that with the declaration that you gave just a minutes ago, there is no need that you just that I say that, but you already say that we are hard leaders standing with our president, Nicolas Maduro. Long life to the homeland, long life Chavez, long life the workers of Venezuela, that the world knows it. By then, we don't want the sanctions because we are the sons and daughters of Chavez. We are organized and mobilized, and the things that is not organized cannot be mobilized. But we did mobilize ourselves, and we were marching to support our people in the legacy of the Commander Chavez, and that's you yourself, President Maduro. Do you speak English? But let's say this to Biden. Biden, lift sanctions.
No. Listo.
Ready, set.
¿Cómo están las firmas?
How are the signatures going, Will? Tell me about that. Well, President, first of all, I want to say hi to you and your first meeting by the Vice President. And shout out to the workers, to our President. Well, President, I want to say to all of you present, because when we say to you in 2023, with these proposals that you have made reality to the workers, we make a debate out of this. And I want you to know, and my comrades can stand by me, that even if you couldn't have done this by the sanctions, because we are aware of the sanctions and the far right, and most of all the oil workers, that we know the bitterness of the sanctions. We're aware, President, and we go into the streets because we trust you. We are wildly trusting you. And when yesterday I was giving some words, and these widows of the far right saying that we couldn't have hopes because we didn't have anything to celebrate, I didn't have the opportunity to answer this, but the comrade Nicolas Sanchez say they don't have nothing to celebrate, because they won't never have anything to celebrate, because they won't have any working class bowing towards them. The far right will never have a working class, because it's not possible. It will be against the nature if all will be standing in the wrong side of history. And that's why, President, we want to say that you can trust wildly in your working class, and all of us that we're outside also, and the ones that they wouldn't be here and that were in the cities, and we are in communication with them. You're the president of the working class. You can say proudly that you're a worker, and you know what the oil worker says, that the only license that cares to us is your license, your driving license, because that's the only thing that we care about. Because us, President from the Bolivarian Union, we are against the sanctions and towards the socialism, and you're our hope. Against the sanctions and towards the socialism, you're the hope, and the hope is on the streets. I will give my signatures. Where are they to see the box? Minister, you can come closer. We, on the April 19th, we initiated the process as you command us. And I want to tell you that the sectors on April 19th was the assembly with the oil workers. And you command that the April 19th, we had assembly for the independency. And the same day of the 19th of April, we get the signatures. And the 22nd, Comrade Terchea made a conference and consolidated the signature process. And today, we have the 8,000 signatures here. We have 85,000 signatures of all the payroll from the oil chemistry, oil and gas workers. And I thank you, PDVSA, and we will get the signatures in a national level. I want to say also, Mr. President, that with Bolivarian Union, we are given already instructions in this process, and we're doing it in the whole country, even in the small communities. We said that, and I say that we are the workers' power, the perfect union of the communities, the working class, the countryside men, the fishermen. We also have comrades from the 25 state, the Guayana Esequiba state, some comrades that neighbors of their fishermen and countryside men, but we also are eager, and I take the opportunity to have here with Pedro Rafael and once for all to go through the PDVSA Esequibo. It is necessary to all of us here through the councils of workers to consolidate this vanguard that was born from the deepest of our souls, workers. We need, in the presence of the Bolivarian comrade and the ministers and all the executive team, allowed us to consolidate this vanguard because it's the way to do more with less, and we have a lot of experience. And before this license that the empire has made up against the oil in Venezuela, well, we have a vanguard that are the productive councils of workers, President. Thank you very much. Comrade, we have to continue to get with our own technology, the professional capacity, experiences from the workers, with their own investment. And when an investment that, despite of the sanctions of the 19th of April that was asked for the far right, are coming. I say that before and I reiterate today that in these last weeks of April, it was signed, so you know, 20 contracts to new oil sectors of investment, international investment from all over the world. Those investments are going to be felt in the second semester of the year, that the things are getting there. We don't have to say a lot about that. The best way to say is to do, will say Jose Marti. So, we have goals, modest goals of the oil growth, 1,200,000 barrels, but can be having very good news for the second semester, and I trust in the productive force that will guarantee the growth of our country in the second semester and the years to come. From all of you workers, I trust you, Terrachea. Well, President, as a class worker with my brothers and sisters from the greatest industry, PDVSA, oil chemistry, the health care system, we have all the working class of the country. I can say that with transparency, with rectitude, with morals, we won't be accepting any kind of sanctions. For PDVSA, from today, there is no sanctions. In our vocabulary, we're going to delete that. I can say, my commander, that we are above 9,000 barrels. We're going to continue with the moral from the workers to get even more every day, drop by drop, increasing the economical growth of Venezuela, because here we're putting in stake the future of our sons and daughters, our grandfathers and grandmothers, and our brothers and sisters. And we're going to achieve the 1,000%. If we have an obstacle, we will find new solutions to keep the growth with our teamwork. Teamwork is a sure win. Long live to Venezuela. Long live to the working class. We keep in an advance in integrity to the victory. The hope is on the streets. We say goodbye this beautiful day of this immense mobilizations that we had, and all over the country, but in Caracas, most of all, the biggest mobilization that ever was seen on May 1st. You have social network. Raise your hands, the one that you have TikTok. Put it down. Raise your hand if you have Instagram. Did I pronounce it well? Raise your hand if you have Facebook. Raise your hand if you have X. X. I want to say something to you. You know that these social networking companies are in the hands of the imperialism, and we have censor from them, and they put boundaries into the Bolivarian people that is powerful in the streets. We are under the censor. like the communication media when the coup d'etat of 2002 came, they wouldn't be putting out in the media any of the forces of the Chavism, but we fight that with our mouth to mouth. I call the people that is listening to me by radio, television, social networks. Today, May 1st, I'm summoning you to a battle in the social networks. We're going to put a battle in the social network from every single one of us phone, from the acts of every single one of us to break the censure and the blockade that our people is upon on. We're going to break the censure of the social networks. Are you agreeing? Well, so let's give like to all the videos that is out today, because the people is on the street and nothing can stop it. Thank you very much, comrade.
San Benito, échate un palo y canta con alegría que en Botatán los tambores ya resuenan por la vida. San Benito, échate un palo y canta con alegría que en Botatán los tambores ya resuenan por la vida. ¡Todos vámonos, pues! ¡Hey, hey, 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 hey! Vámonos, Pavocono, vámonos, montaña arriba, a darle un beso al jardín que para siempre quedó en los ojos de Bolívar. Vámonos, Pavocono, vámonos, montaña arriba, a darle un beso al jardín que para siempre quedó en los ojos de Bolívar. Hey, 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 hey,
Live to Venezuela, witnessing the massive rallies taking place throughout the country and listening to the statements of the Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro during the assembly held on occasion of International Workers' Day, an event assisted by representatives of the Venezuelan working class. During the meeting, the President assured Venezuela